Hello everyone, and welcome to a new series I'll be doing called This is a section where I will be reading a book. Now, I know many guys are thinking that this is going to be boring. It isn't going to be, because I'm going to try to make it just as fun. So let's get right into the book. I set up a little poll on Twitter saying what book you guys want me to read. And you guys really want to see me reading some fairy tales. So I got a book right here from the Grimm's Brothers. And I've always loved the Grimm's Brothers fairy tales. They're actually my favorite group on reading fairy tales. And actually this is my go-to book. I love fairy tales, so let's get right into this. Today we are going to be reading The Frog King. Let me just flip to the story. This will take a minute. Okay, so it's a very short chapter. It is called The Frog King or Iron Henry. In olden times, when wishing still helped one, there lived a king whose daughters were all beautiful and good looking. But the youngest was so beautiful that the sun itself, which had seen so much, was astonished whenever she shone her face, her beautiful face, which every prince likes. Close by the king's castle lay a dark forest, which was really scary. And let me just point out one thing. In all these fairy tales, there is a dark forest. And under an old lime tree in the forest was a well. When the day was very warm, the king's child went out into the forest and sat down by the side of the cool fountain. And when she was bored, she took a golden ball and threw it high up in the sky.
High up in the sky.
And caught it. And this ball was her favorite plaything. Now, it so happened on one occasion the princess's golden ball did not fall into her little hand, which she was holding up for it, but on the ground beyond, and rolled straight into the water. The king's daughter followed it with her eyes, but it vanished. And the well was so deep, that the bottom could not be seen. At this, she began to cry. Oh, It's gone. My ball went into the well. And cried louder and louder. And could not be comforted. As he thus limited, someone said to her, "What ails you, king's daughter? You weep so much, even a stone would show pity." She looked around to the sun from whence the voice came and saw the frog stretching forth its big ugly head. Big ugly head. From the water. Ah! The water splasher is... Oh, yes, sir. Ah! The old water splasher is... Is it you? She seen. I'm weeping for my golden ball. It has fallen into the well. Be quiet. Do not weep, answered the frog. I can help you. But what will you give me if I bring your places up again? Whatever you will have, dear frog, said she. My clothes and my pearls and jewels, or even the golden crown which I'm wearing. Now, may I question this? Why would they give up your crown to a frog? I know you like her, princess, but why? It's in your family's heritage. I wouldn't give that up. It's special. A keepsake. And in your royalty. Maybe this frog wants royalty. Who knows? The frog answered, I do not care for your clothes, your pearls, and jewels, not even the golden crown. But if you will love me and let me be a companion and a playfellow, and sit by you at your little cup and sleep in your little bed, if you promise me this, I will go down below and bring you your golden ball up again. Mr. Frog! Why are you trying to get with her? Do you know how long that is? My lord! But keep in mind, this is the Grimm's Brothers fairy tales. I freaking love them. Okay, let me just find where I was. Oh. Oh, yes, said she. I promise you all you wish. But if you will, but bring back my ball again. But she thought, how the silly frog does talk. All he does is sit in the water with all the other frogs and croak. He'd be no companion to any human being. Now, let's put some respect on the princess. She knows it's wrong. She also thinks it's silly. And how does a frog even talk? Many questions, many theories. But the frog, when he had received the promise, put his head into the water and sank down. In a short while, came swimming up again, and with the ball in his mouth, and threw it onto the glass. The king's daughter was delighted. To see her pretty plaything once more, and she picked up and went away with it. La 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 la. Sorry, I'm trying to find where I was. Wait! 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 Said the frog. Take me with you. I can't run as you can. But what did it about him to scream as croak after her? As loudly as he could. She did not listen to it, but went home, and soon forgot about the poor frog, and was forced to go back to his well again. Mr. Frog, don't force people, especially girls. No, no, no. The next day, when she seated herself at the table with the king and all his courtiers, and was eating from her golden plate, her golden plate, her golden plate. Something came clipping, splash, 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 up the marble staircase, and when it had got to the top, and knocked on the door.
You're right.
And cried, Princess! Youngest princess! Open the door for me! She ran to see what was outside, but when she opened the door, there sat the frog, and on top of it. When she slammed the door to in great haste, sat down to dinner again, and was quite frightened. The king saw her plainly that her heart was beating furiously. My child, what are you so afraid of? Is there a besieged? A giant outside? Who wants to carry you away? No, replied she. It is no giant, but just a disgusting frog. What does the frog want with you? Dear father, yesterday when I was in the forest, sitting by the well, playing, my golden ball fell into the water. And because I cried so, the frog brought it out again for me. And because I was so insistent, I promised him he would be my companion. But I never thought he would be able to come out of the water. Yeah! What is this, a land frog? Please! Well, this is a fairy tale, after all. It is a fairy tale, after all. Da, 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 da. And now, he is outside there, and wants to come in to me. In the meantime, it knocked again. The second time it cried, Princess! Youngest princess! Open the door for me! Do not know what you said to me yesterday, but the cool waters of the well. Princess, youngest princess, open the door for me. Then said the king, that rush that you have promised must you perform. Go and let him in. She ran and opened the door, and the frog hopped and followed her step by step to her chair. At last the king commanded her to do it. Once the frog was on the chair, he wanted to be under the table. He said, "No, Portia, let her go to play the nearer to me." Sorry. I'm also doing voiceovers for the characters. Sorry, it was a golden halo right here. Hope you're enjoying the story so far. If you're enjoying the story so far, in the comment section, if you enjoyed any part, leave a time down below. Now back to the story. Oh, now Birdie got a little plate and give it to me. So that we can eat together. All you can eat is flies, Mr. Frog. I don't think the king has flies. She did this. It was easy to see that she did. Do not do it willingly. The frog enjoyed what she ate. And almost every mouthful she took choked her. At length he said, "I have eaten, and now I'm satisfied. Now I'm tired. Carry me to your little room, and make your little silky bed ready. You want to lie down and go to sleep." Mr. Frog! Please stop that, Mr. Frog. No! The king's daughter began to cry. I don't believe her! The frog made her cry. Because he was to sleep with her. Okay, I'm sorry. The king's daughter began to cry. But she was afraid of the cold frog which she did not like to touch, and which was now to sleep in her pretty clean little bed. But the king grew angry and said, "He helped you when you were in trouble, ought not afterwards to despise to you." So she took off the frog with 2 fingers and carried him upstairs and put him in the corner. But when me, okay, I should like a drop of sweet crystalline wine myself. Oh, that was a line. Hold on. Well, I'll just continue. Well, this, however, was untrue. The cat had no cousin. She was in bed, crept to her and said, "I am tired. I want to sleep as well as you. Let me up, and I will tell your father." Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. At this, he was terribly angry. He took him up and threw with all her might. At this was, "Now will you be quiet, odious frog?" said she. But when he fell down, there was no frog, but a king's son. That plot twist! Wow! So the frog was actually a king's son. I wonder what happened to him. Or maybe it was a curse. It's probably a curse. I guess the king's son was cursed. That's probably why he was a frog. With kind and beautiful eyes, he, by her father's will, was now her dear companion and husband. Then he told her that I knew it, that he had been bewitched by a wicked witch, and that no one would have delivered from the well but herself, but that tomorrow they would go together to his kingdom. Then went to sleep. The next morning then the sun awoke them. A carriage came driving up with 8 white horses, which had white ostrich feathers on their heads, and were harnessed with golden chains. And behind stood the young king's servant, Faithful Henry. Faithful Henry was so unhappy when his master was changed into a frog that he had caused 3 iron... Wait, what? Yo! That he had caused 3 iron bands to be laid around his heart. Well, keep knowing, back then there were like some dark stuff in fairy tales. But this, oh my gosh. Poor Henry. Oh, poor Henry. Lest it should burst with grief and sadness, the carriage was to conduct the young king to his kingdom. Faithful Henry helped them both in, placed himself behind again, and was joy of this deliverance. And when they had driven a part of the way, the king's son heard a cracking behind him, as if something had broken. Turned around and cried, "Henry, the carriage is breaking." "No, master, it is not the carriage. It is a band from my heart, which was still in my great pain, when you were a frog and imprisoned in the well." I just realized something. Oh my gosh. The iron band on the top was cracking. Oh. Again and once again, while they were on the way, something cracked, and each time the king's son thought the carriage was breaking, It was the only bands which were speaking from the heart of faithful Henry, because his master was set free and was happy. And that's the end of the story. That ending though, oh my gosh. Oh my god. Alright, first of all, I feel bad for Henry. I feel really bad for him. Wow, these are my thoughts on the story. It is such a brilliant fairy tale. Like, the things I liked about it was the whole thing about the king's son being the frog, which was a major plot twist of the whole story. Like, at first he didn't even know, but when he threw the frog, it turned into the beautiful king's son. And what he revealed why he was a frog was because of the wicked witch that set a curse upon him. And I just want to say, I love the Grimm's brothers. They are brilliant writers. And I love their fairy tales. There's a lot more that I want to read. But we'll be doing that in the next Kuro Literature Club. If you guys enjoyed episode 1, drop the hype down below, and Astro blast that like button. And keep chillaxing, relaxing, and don't stop believing. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And I love all of you.